The day I found my father's old jacket in the attic, I wasn't looking for memories. Inside that forgotten jacket was a letter with my name on it. A letter written 15 years ago. A letter my father never got the chance to give me. And after reading those words, I finally understood why he left. My name is Daniel. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone. My father, Michael, was the kind of man who woke up before sunrise every day, worked until his hands were tired, and still came home with a smile. He wasn't rich. We didn't have expensive cars or a big house. But my father always said, money can buy a house, Daniel, but only love can make it a home. He was my hero. Until one day, he disappeared. I was only 12 years old when my father left. No goodbye, no explanation, just an empty chair at the dinner table. My mother told me he had to go away. But as a child, I didn't understand. I only felt one thing. He abandoned me. Years passed. I grew older, but the anger stayed. Every birthday, every achievement, every difficult moment, I wished he was there. When I graduated, I looked into the crowd hoping to see him. When I got my first job, I wanted to tell him, but he was never there. And slowly, I stopped missing my father. I started hating him. 20 years later, I became successful. I had the career, the house, and everything I once dreamed about. But there was one thing money couldn't fix: the empty space inside me. One winter evening, my mother called me. Her voice was shaking. Daniel, I think it's time you know the truth about your father. That night, she gave me an old wooden box. Inside was my father's jacket, and inside the pocket was a letter. My hands were trembling as I opened it. The first line said, "My dear Daniel, if you are reading this, it means I couldn't come back." My heart stopped. The letter explained everything. My father didn't leave because he stopped loving me. He left because he was sick. He had a serious illness, and doctors told him he didn't have much time. He didn't want me to watch him slowly disappear. He wanted my last memory of him to be a strong father, not a weak man in a hospital bed. The letter continued, "I know you may hate me, and maybe you have every right to, but please remember one thing. Every day I was away from you, I was fighting to come back home." Tears fell from my eyes. All those years, I was angry at a man who was silently loving me from far away. The last page of the letter had one final message. "Daniel, if life ever gives you a chance to love someone, don't waste time being angry. Say I love you while you still can." That sentence broke me because I realized something painful. I spent 20 years waiting for my father to apologize, but I never gave myself a chance to forgive him. The next morning, I went to the place where my father was buried. I sat there for hours. I talked to him. I told him about my life. I told him about everything he missed. And before I left, I placed the letter on his grave. Not because I didn't need it anymore, but because I finally understood its message. Some people leave this world without saying goodbye, but their love stays behind in the smallest things. A jacket, a letter, a memory. So if there is someone you love, don't wait. Call them. Tell them. Because one day, all you may have left is a story you wish you could tell them.